Welcome.
Hey, New York and people around the world
Yes, like
and
Spanish
the
town.
and the Caribbean, Trinidad, Grenada. Big
Asia.
up.
Welcome to another episode of Sweet Tea and
Coconut water.
I'm Namisha,
Joel Samuel here.
and we're going to continue our conversation on the dynamics between our relationship, a West Indian man, a Black American woman. We have pros, cons, highs, lows,
Taboos, myths, legends, folk tales, stereotypes,
things we're just
sexual,
learning.
everything that is in the gumbo of the intercultural, interracial, intergenerational. Actually, you're older. No.
Exactly. No.
Intermarriage relationship between a lovely Black American Beyonce inspired goddess
I'm older than Beyonce, so pardon me.
and
We are from the same hometown,
a
though.
Caribbean Joe.
Oh, yeah, I have to shout out my G-town.
Yes.
Galveston Island. Yeah, so we're both islanders.
That's interesting.
I'm just from Galveston Island,
Right.
Texas, the bottom of the map, the birthplace of Juneteenth.
Wow.
And this Trini boy via Grenada
Yeah.
is now here in New York.
Yeah,
so
I love it. I can't wait to get my green card. Just kidding.
don't listen to him
Anyway,
sometimes.
we're talking about relationships, stereotypes, African American, Caribbean American, men, women, taboos, sexuality, all of the above. And you have a questions for me.
Yeah, so
I'm nervous. Go. Let's hear it.
We go back and forth so frequently, and again, in being with him, I've learned truly that Black is not Black. And I think coming from the South, there is that perception, Black is Black. So I want to extend that curiosity into intimate conversations.
Wow, it's a big topic. We can talk about, it just occurred to me when you're talking about a relationship with people who have children. And you have 3 children, I have 2 children, which adds another dynamic. Maybe we can explore that at another time. But, again, we come back to the stereotypes. So, like African American women, as I guess compared to Caribbean women, I mentioned before the general taboo, or rather myth, and it's an evil myth that, you would think, or you're led to believe that African American women are much more, quote unquote, easier to, I guess, get into bed. And in our personal relationship, that turned out not to be true. Yeah. And so
Mama has those Southern values.
Southern values, yeah. Yeah, and that was one thing. And I can't think of the other thing, but I know I'll think about it later. But we jump right into you. What was
I'm going to
backtrack
backtrack because that's interesting to me. Because when I think about West Indian, the West Indian population, the culture, the first thing is wine pawn it, the poom poom, the boom boom, all of that back shatta, know. So to me, that's very sexual. And when you're out partying,
but you guys have your version.
When you're in the dance hall or you're at a fete, all of that, what you call it, the bacchanal, all that, you're getting dirty.
Well, you got the shake what your mama
ways.
give you thing, right? You got that going on. And the Beyonce, what does Beyonce
Why
do?
you keep talking about B?
What does she do?
Look,
drop it like it's hot?
That sounded real country, I know. I am a Texas girl.
Yeah, but one thing I wanted to mention.
P-pop.
Coming back to this notion of, taboos between African American and Caribbean American women. One of the things we were discussing was that, possibly, the Caribbean had this whole British colonial power thing. And I think, I'm not 100% sure, but I feel like that might be playing into their quote-unquote conservatism in Caribbean women.
So you think they're more conservative? When?
Maybe,
not on the dance floor.
Not on the dance floor. Maybe in the bedroom, right?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I mean, I might be wrong. It's just my limited scope.
Is that the case, ladies?
Is that the case, ladies? Yeah.
And
Who
men,
knows?
is that the case?
Who knows? Yeah, so I feel that might be an element that could be a factor. but it's just one person's opinion. So in terms of you, um, we've heard the stereotypes of the strong, oily, muscular,
Wet,
wet,
dreadlock,
the
rasta.
renter dread from the Caribbean,
Not a renter
Stella
dread.
get her groove back type dude who sweeps the African American woman off her feet
Yeah.
and make love to her all night long
To reggae music.
to reggae music vibes, right? So did or is that stereotype, to what extent is that stereotype true in terms of Caribbean men? We're dying to
So
know.
the stereotype that I'll say all Caribbean men are like lover boys, I feel like it's false. All are not lover boys. Not that I've been. I do have friends living here in New York. I've met people. I would say that's not always the case. I feel that people are people, and it really just depends on the individual and the romantic or sexual or affectionate nature of that person and the chemistry, that you share. Yeah. So I'm not going to neglect my African American men and say they don't have swag or whatnot in terms of intimacy.
But do you feel, I'm going to be a bit stereotypical. Do you feel like, okay, let's just take a look at the oppression, right? That African American men are under in America. So there's the pressure or the violence from police. There's quote unquote black on black violence. And there's the the joblessness, the prison industrial complex, as opposed to, I recently went back to Trinidad and Grenada, and as a black man, I feel way more free. And there was a story I know I told you before. When I went down, I was almost in a reactive mode, like, am I gonna get stopped? But then I realized I'm in a black country, so it's like way less tension. And I'm wondering, just putting it out there, these things might be impacting black American men's
and
relationships, even their sexuality, and that whole thing. But that's a huge topic, and it just came to me, and I was thinking about that. Right?
That's an interesting question. So send us your comment. Men, our black men, do you feel that the pressures of America stifle your level or ability, your level of intimacy, or your ability to be intimate,
sexuality,
and responsive to your woman? Do you feel it impedes your ability to be open in love, and is intimacy and or sex just a straight up release for you? Often, as opposed to being able to connect. That's a good question.
And the armchair
comment on that.
The armchair philosopher in me would say yes, only because we know of the history of slavery and the way black men were separated from their black families. So sex to them was not intimacy, it was just sex. And we know about breeding. So is that history, right? Yeah, so it must play, and we can't answer it here, but we can say yes, in some sense it does play into the way how black men relate to black women, and how Caribbean men relate to black women, because there's a difference. We in the Caribbean, I dare say, don't suffer that kind of constant microscope oppression. So yeah. But I don't want to get too technical.
But I will say one stereotype that ends up being true for me is my coconut water. He's quite cut. So when he's on the beach and he's coming out that beautiful ocean, he's beautiful right alongside.
Wow, I'm blushing. Yeah. Thank you. I don't wanna cry.
So moving on.
You had more questions?
Moving on.
Yes.
So your only stereotype was being loose. Well, I'm glad that was dismantled.
No, I feel like also in terms of sexual variety, and in terms of what
what did you anticipate? That was the other thing.
I think women, or black women in a whole, I think I might dare say are more conservative sexually.
So we're more conservative sexually?
Yeah, I would think so.
But you just said Caribbean women were.
No, but I'm saying black women as a whole. So if there's like a hierarchy, I don't want to put races, but there might be other races who might be a little more open, i.e., freaky. But then there might be, I guess, African American women, and then Caribbean women.
Okay, so the other race is at the top.
Yeah.
The freakiest.
The freakiest, yeah.
Then we're somewhere in the middle ground.
Yeah, yeah.
Is it freaky or just knowing how to please our man?
Both.
Okay.
Yeah, I think openness. Experimentation, that whole thing,
less
right?
reservation.
Yeah, less hang-ups, quote unquote.
I think it's just loving the one you with. That's what I would call it, and being open to things, to attempt various levels of pleasure.
You know, and it just came to me, even on the men's side, you know, you have these stereotypes that, you know, and I don't want to get too graphic.
Oh, I know you.
You know, like black men or Caribbean men do certain things in the bedroom, which we're not really going to mention. But that's another stereotype or taboo. And you want to address that at all?
They do. And y'all know what I'm talking about. They quick to say, me don't do that. Master man don't do that. Yeah, you do. I'm blinking at the audience.
I wonder what that is.
Yeah, they do. And if you don't follow me, then I'm so sorry. But if you follow me, then you understand. So
right.
We all do.
Right, we all do.
Rasta man don't do that.
Yeah.
Liar, pants on fire.
We have one more question, right?
So I think the next question was, have we been able to move past stereotypes thus far?
Right.
Okay. Because it is a work in progress. So
yeah, definitely the key word in any relationship. And as we discover this kind of mixed relationship, it's always finding that balance between each other person's or cultural perspective. And it's so subtle at times that we are amazed how subtle differences can multiply and kind of explode. And we were talking about what, for example, dating means as opposed to being a couple. And I was saying to Lamisha that dating in my context kind of automatically kind of means one person. It's not generally in the Caribbean, and I might be wrong, but I came here when I was like 12. Dating meant like you're dating a person, one person. We don't generally date around. So it's a nuance, right? So that was a kind of interesting thing to learn, how you define dating, as you can be dating and it's not necessarily sexual.
Of course.
Right.
Dating does not equal sex. It's two different terms. Now, if you choose to have sex on a date or with someone that you're dating, that's your prerogative. But when you date someone, that is not inclusive. And so that was definitely, I don't want to say that was a stereotype. I think maybe that was just, it could be cultural, but I don't know. I just feel that's a different belief system. To me, dating is just that. You're dating. You're dating multiple people. You're getting to know different people to determine essentially who's worthy of your time, who you're compatible with, who you can share your joy with, because I don't want to say you find joy, because that's the wrong concept. The thing is, you bring what you have 100%, and the other person should have their 100%, and you complement each other.
Right.
I don't like to say you're looking for someone. It's rather an encounter. And I feel that's what dating allows you to do. If you start sleeping around, I feel like you sort of create a fog over what can potentially come, because now you've integrated sex, and sex can be misleading for many people. But again, that's just my opinion, and because this is our show, I can speak my opinion because I'm sweet tea. But I sad to say that, but yeah, I do feel because I feel like when you're a couple, and you can date as a couple, you can stay in the house, but you're a couple. That's official. When you're dating, that's not official. So
I just thought about, dating, boyfriend, and you say guy friend. There's so many terms, and
because a boy, that to me, that's immature. That's when you're
Right.
young.
Right.
But when you're grown, because I'm grown.
Right.
Ladies, are you grown?
Yeah.
Is he grown? I
Yeah.
hope you grown.
I'm growing up.
See, that's the problem with New York City men. They growing up.
Growing up.
The gerund, ing.
It's a constant elevation and development, which is good. So, any more questions?
No, I believe that's what we were focusing on, the stereotypes. Have we been able to move past it? So have we been able to move past it?
Yes, to a good. It's a work in progress, but it's definitely moving in the right direction.
Because we are sweet tea
and coconut water.
We want you to ensure that you definitely come back and see us every week, every episode, because there's so much more to what we have for you. More than relationships, we get into the world, global perspectives, politics, music, entertainment. My six-pack is a musician.
Wow.
He's a musician.
Yes.
And I like to croon. He likes me to croon tunes over his guitar plucking, so we would share our music and other aspects of creativity. I'm like this wannabe dancer, and I still try to live out that dream.
You are an amazing dancer.
And so we'll be sharing so much, our travels, our woes, all as we journey through love and life. Sweet tea,
coconut water.
H-Town.